Hello, and thank you for listening to DBR, DailyBizRadio.com, all business all day from Main Street to Wall Street. And today's show is sponsored by KNZBrokers.com, 5 business franchises under one platform. This is your host, James Hips, welcoming you today and also welcoming Roland-Finch. He is a recording artist out of Austin, Texas. And Roland, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, James. How are you?
I am doing super fantastic. Thanks for asking. Now, on top of being a recording artist, what all do you? Tell me everything you do, Roland.
I'll try to sum it up in just a couple words. I'm a mild recording artist. A lot of my passion is really in music theory and actually recording record engineering. So here, I currently I record several different types of local musical artists in efforts to pretty much get more hype and buzz about these artists and their craft and their style. Pretty unique. I also study music theory, and I am trying to develop a curriculum to find a way to teach the deaf to become songwriters and musicians. So that's also on the work.
Wow, that's incredible. That's I did not know that. Now, I have to ask someone of your caliber because, Roland, I'm very familiar with your level of talent, and you're quite an accomplished musician, and you're very good at everything that you do. So, why Austin, Texas?
It's a very different music industry. The music industry has changed quite a bit over the years. It's very commercial. It's got a cookie cutter sort of a concept about it. It's not about the music anymore. It's about just the business and pumping out product really quick. And here in Austin, it's actually about the music in the city. This is a town full of talented musicians and producers who actually know the craft of playing their instruments. The digital world of music has sort of taken off where any kid with $500 can become a songwriter / producer, but the craft of playing an instrument is dying. But here in the city, it's well alive. This is the indie music capital, so lots of real raw talent here. So this is definitely a place to come to be inspired, to grow and do something different and become original.
Wow, that's very interesting because I never, personally, I never would think as Austin to be a music mecca by any means. But, that reminds me of a story that I really want to share. I was actually listening to a lecture that was given by Virginia Johnson. She is a former premier ballerina with the New York City Ballet, and she's now the editor-in-chief of Point magazine. And she was addressing a group of college students several years ago, and after her lecture, she took questions and had a question and answer period. And one of the questions that was posed to her was from a young lady who was getting ready to graduate from college with a degree in dance, and she asked Virginia. She says, what advice do you have to give me? As I am about to embark in the world of the arts and go on to try to develop a career. And the thing that Virginia said to her was, go home. And what she meant was, and what she elaborated by saying was that the meccas such as New York, LA, Chicago, they have the arts. They are not in need of artists. They don't need musicians. They don't need dancers. They don't, there's not the need there, but it's these smaller communities and the lesser known communities that need the arts. So basically what she was saying is take it home to your smaller communities, to your lesser known communities that are not as quite involved with the arts, and make it happen there, because that's a way for the arts to grow.
Definitely.
So, I just totally tied in to, what you were saying to me remembering that conversation. But now, Roland, I have to ask you, and this is a very pointed question, and I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, but it can't be easy for someone as yourself, especially in these economic times, to be launching a career or trying to launch a career in the music industry in Austin, Texas. I mean, are the funds available? I mean, do you find it easy, or have you had a lot of roadblocks?
Well, funny enough, this is sort of a small arts community. It kind of mirrors some of the larger meccas that you were talking about earlier, where here the musical and arts community actually, they're very supportive of one another. So, you may not be able to make top dollars at a gig, but the cost of living is going to definitely be suitable for musicians. So there are definitely communities that actually house musicians and performers and artists with reduced rates to make the living very much easy. So this is definitely an area to cultivate your talent and your skill. I keep a day job myself just to supplement income, in between sessions and other projects, and it's not too stressful. The community really supports itself.
Right. But do you find that, okay, you just said you keep a day job to sustain economic viability within your own life, but that has to subtract from the overall goal, does it not?
Somewhat. It not so much. I guess for me personally, because I do so many different things, and my mind isn't set up 100% on one. So rather than exploiting some part or portion of my talent simply to make a living, and then maybe grow tired of that passion, I can simply, exploit something else, something that doesn't take a lot of my mental process, that doesn't stress me out too much, to supplement that income while I really kind of figure out what it is that I ultimately really want to do as a career in the music industry. The music industry is changing so much, I can't just I can't put all my eggs in one basket and say that, I'm just going to record and do this and that's it and leave the day job. I do need that income. Trends change, things change, and you kind of got to roll with the punches a little bit, but it's easier for me so that I don't have to just exploit something that I love so much just for the money.
I understand. So it's really more for the true love of the art versus the money.
Correct.
Wow, that's, what, and there again, humility never goes out of style, because that's a very humble statement for you to make. And, I think that speaks volumes of the person that you are, that, you're really doing this out of your passion and love for the music, not for the money. And again, for our listeners, you're listening to Roland-Finch. He is a recording artist and recording engineer out of Austin, Texas, on TBRDailyBizRadio.com, all business all day from Main Street to Wall Street. Sponsored by KNZBrokers.com, 5 business franchises under one platform. Now, Roland, where do you see, you've talked a bit about, the evolving music industry, which we know it has. There's not only from the media aspect of it, from, like years ago, everyone was buying 45s to, we went through the cassette phase to the CD stage to now it's the, podcast or, downloading music phase. What do you see as the real future? What's next? What's your thoughts on what's next?
Well, really, the recording industry has changed so much due to the digital revolution, and as I mentioned earlier, pretty much where any kid can buy a Pro Tools rig for $500 and start to make music and then get it out to the world. But I guess what we've been experiencing for the last 400 years is music of very similar tastes and style. It's a cultural thing. The changes in the music industry will have to happen when the music itself evolves. Okay?
Okay.
Our classical stronghold, classical theory, your traditional 1-5-4 chord progressions, they're so used heavily in all of our American music styles that, it kind of goes hand in hand with this digital realm. It's this cookie cutter sort of a music that's then easily distributed. Whereas what we're trying to cultivate here in this area is something that's really unique that you haven't heard, and hopefully within that, we could rebirth this music industry into something more of a, maybe increase the touring scene, which is where a lot of artists and musicians do make most of their income. It's not really in record sales, it's in touring. So, by creating something that's not been heard, something that's brand new, we could then, increase maybe the way that music is presented, which could then change the industry.
Okay. And that makes perfect sense. Thank you for sharing that with us. And again, you're listening to DBR Daily Biz Radio, all business all day from Main Street to Wall Street. And we've been speaking with Roland-Finch, a recording artist and recording engineer out of Austin, Texas, who is a phenomenally talented young man who if you ever get the chance to speak with him, I suggest you do so. Roland, Roland, I have to ask, how do you measure success? We've talked about the economy, how it affects everything, but, you've really led me to believe, and I do believe strongly that, it's not about the money with you. It is about the love of the
Right.
art. So, how do you measure success? Because I think that's something very important for our listeners, because we all measure success in different ways. And I
Right.
think it's important for you to share with us, what is your measure of success?
I think that success is about, 5% what you've actually done and accomplished, and about 95% the types of relationships that you have with other people. And cultivating a really good relationship, a good friendship with the musicians that you intend to work with really strengthens your project. I look at a lot of the jazz greats. Let's just pull a name like John Coltrane and his lineup. He used the same drummers, pianists, and bassists for many years on different projects. But these guys were also really good friends. They cultivated a really good relationship, which I ultimately believe led to the success of these groups and the longevity of their music and their styles. So success is definitely the relationship that you have with another person, more so than the actual accomplishment itself.
Very well put. Very well put. Well, Roland, we're going to wrap it up for today, but I really do appreciate you being with us here on DBR Daily Biz Radio. Again, it's all business all day from Main Street to Wall Street, and this show has been sponsored by knzbrokers.com, 5 business franchises under one platform. And again, I'm your host, James Hips, and we've been speaking with Roland-Finch. Roland, it's always a pleasure to speak with you. Best of luck with all your future endeavors, and I hope to speak with you again very soon in the near future.
Oh, thank you, James. I would love to.
All right, take care, and we'll talk to you soon.